Amber Willetts, and her topic is how to be a scare actor. Amber.
Fear. What is fear? According to Daniel Bennett in the online article, The Science of Fear, What Makes Us Afraid, fear comes from the amygdala. The amygdala is the part of the brain that processes the realization of a threat. Now, I've worked at Dorney Park for multiple years as a haunt actress. This has given me hands-on experience of putting people on the ground from using the result of fear. Now, in the art of terrifying somebody beyond their capabilities to handle themselves, there are 4 types of scares that expert haunt trainer Robert Gallagher explains in the interview. These scares include the pop-out scare, the ping-pong scare, the distraction scare, and the plain sight scare. So let's start with the most simplest of scares, the pop-out scare. The pop-out scare is the most common types of scare, and it has 2 main aspects, including positioning and surprise. With positioning, you want to be sure that you're able to see where your victim is located. So much as a shadow can give away your victim's location to let you know exactly where they are. Something else with positioning is you have to keep in mind where to jump out at them. You go high, more towards the face, that creates more of that scream reaction you may want. However, if you go low, more towards the feet, that creates the running reaction you may be looking for. Then you also have the surprise aspect of this scare. Simply blending into a dark background, wearing all black clothes, similar to what I'm wearing today, can be the perfect setup for this scare. With the surprise aspect, you just simply want to not do 2 things. Don't make any movement and don't make any sound. You don't want to do anything to draw somebody's attention in your direction. Now, the surprise aspect is very important for this scare. However, it's also very important for the ping pong scare. The ping pong scare is a multi-actor scare that is great for saving energy. Being multi-actor means that it requires a lot of practice. However, most of the scare is just simply going at somebody from a different angle. You often use somebody to play off each other's scares and use another actress to go off to generate a larger scare. This scare is great because it's more of a stalker scare, as most of the time people come up from behind, so you don't even have to generate a lot of noise or use your throat at all. Now, this scare is a multi-actor scare, but it's not the only multi-actor scare. That leads me to the distraction scare. With the distraction scare, there are 2 main parts. You have the distraction, and you have somebody who preys on the victims. If you're the distractor, you have 2 main jobs. You must choose your victims, and you have to hold on to your victim's attention. When choosing the victims, take into account the age, the gender, and the size of the group. Holding on to the attention, though, is the hard part. Interacting and dialogue is a great way to hold on to somebody's attention. Now, if you're the one preying on the victims, you have 2 things to keep in mind: timing and approach. With timing, if you go in too soon, you might not give the distractors enough time to gain the victim's full attention. However, if you go in too late, you may miss your opportunity. Then you have the approach. With the approach, maybe you have to analyze who your distractor chose as your victims. If your victim's audience is all facing in one direction, the stalking approach might be beneficial, as you can get up nice, close, and personal and create a larger type of scare. However, if your audience is more in a circle style, where there's a bunch of eyes going at different directions, the surprise approach might be your best. By surprise, I mean running and jumping right into the middle. Like John Byrne said in the online article, How to Be a Good Scare Actor, aim for the middle. I guarantee the most scared person is in the middle of the group using somebody as a body shield. Once you break down that shield, they themselves will be on the ground. Now that we've covered the 3 easier types of scares, let's move on to the hardest scare, which is the plain sight scare. The plain sight scare is the most difficult scare because you are alone and you are not hiding. There are 3 main aspects that really put the scare together. You have the look, you have the position, and you have the performance. With the look, you want to make sure that your makeup, costume, and prop all matches whatever character you're going for. If you're going for more of a crazy character, make yourself look a little bit more rugged. Now you want to go with your positioning. Positioning is very important. Being that this is a plain sight scare means that you don't have any time to reset between people. You're constantly in plain sight. So maybe leaning up against something and simply just rocking might be best. It's comfortable and it matches the character. Then you have the performance, which ties the scare all together. With performance, I recommend gaining the trust of your victims. Being in plain sight means everybody can see you. They know you're there, they know you're an actor. So if they see you rocking, let them think that you're just gonna do that. Let people walk on by, and maybe they'll change their direction of their attention. And as soon as they do that, that is the perfect time for you to strike. Use the element of surprise, which is the hardest part of this scare, because they know exactly where you are and where you're coming from. Using the element of surprise means suddenly changing up your character. You're rocking and suddenly you're coming after somebody. Use that realization of a threat. If this scare is performed correctly, it will be pants sweating. In fact, you use the pop-out scare, the ping pong scare, the distraction scare, and the plain sight scare. All of them are bone-chilling and will be petrifying from whoever you decide to use it upon. Use the realization of a threat. Make that threat come alive as your character comes alive. Practice the techniques shared, and I promise your scares will be memorable and effective. Thank you.